Welcome back everyone, I hope you're well today. Today's video is going to be a little bit morbid. You probably already know that by the title. It's going to be about famous people who made comments about their own deaths, either jokingly or seriously, and somehow got the details scarily accurate. You're going to be surprised by just how accurate some of them got it. It's quite haunting. Here we go then, my name is Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 people who predicted their own deaths. Alright, before we get into this video though, I just want to let you guys know that Jumba TV offers the best live streaming TV package I have seen so far. Jumba TV offers 3,000 plus live streaming TV channels in 44 countries. You can watch live channels from any device or smartphone, either by Android app or web browser. You can also Chromecast your TV set or use an Android TV box or Amazon Fire Stick and watch live channels directly from your TV set. You can even record your favorite shows well into the future with no physical recording device needed. You even have access to pay-per-view. Their regular monthly premium is only $24.99, but Jumba TV has a limited time offer of $5 off to try out their unbeatable service. You must visit jumbatv.com/top10 while the offer is still available, and don't worry, you will receive all of your instructions in your welcome email soon after you subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Starting off at number 10 now we have Jimi Hendrix. He's often considered to be one of the greatest guitarists of all time. His career lasted just 4 years, but his songs have gone down in history, helping to inspire countless musicians in the years since his death. In 1970 he died at the age of 27 in London, England, but the details are quite sparse. It's thought that he died from asphyxiation after taking 18 times the recommended dosage of sleeping tablets. Jimmy once wrote a song that included the lyrics, "Many things he would try, for he knew soon he'd die. Now Jimmy's gone, he's not alone, his memory still lives on. 5 years, this he said, he's not gone, he's just dead." Now that song was recorded in September 1965, exactly 5 years before he passed away. Perhaps those lyrics were just a coincidence. I'll let you guys make up your own minds about that one. Moving on now to number 9, we have Mark Twain. You guys may know this American writer, humorist, entrepreneur, publisher and lecturer from his novels The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Mark was born shortly after the appearance of Halley's Comet, a comet which approaches Earth every 75 or 76 years like clockwork and is one of the only comets regularly visible to the naked eye from Earth. Mark once said, "It will be the greatest disappointment of my life if I don't go out with Halley's Comet." Well, amazingly, he died from a heart attack just 24 hours after the comet came close to Earth at the age of 75. He was born and died on the days of the comet's appearances. Coming in at number 8 now we have Tupac. He was one of the most legendary rappers of all time, but throughout his successful career he often found trouble followed him around. In 1991 he successfully sued the Oakland Police Department for beating him for jaywalking. In 1993 he was charged with assault for attacking a fellow rapper with a baseball bat. Later that year he was charged with sexually assaulting a woman and did time for it. In 1994 Tupac did an interview with Entertainment Weekly. He was asked, "What do you think's gonna happen in 15 years for you? 10 years? Where do you see yourself?" Tupac replied, "Best case, in a cemetery. Not in a cemetery, sprinkled in ashes, smoked up by my homies. I mean, that's the worst case." Sounds wrong when it comes from my voice. Tupac was shot and killed just 2.5 years after that interview took place. Some say that he knew he was going to die, others go even further and say he knew who was going to kill him. He just didn't want to tell anyone. At the number 7 spot now we have Arnold Schoenberg. He was an Austrian-American composer who moved to America in 1934 when the Nazi Party labeled his music as degenerate. In America he went on to become an influential teacher, and his work has become a crucial part in the curriculum of any musicologist. He led an inspiring life, but there was also one small problem. Arnold was terrified of the number 13. He regularly thought that the number 13 would be the end of him. In 1950, on his 76th birthday, an astrologer wrote him a note warning him that this year was a critical one because if you add up the digits in 76, 7 and 6, you get 13. This stunned and depressed the composer so much because he'd only ever worried of multiples of 13 when it came to the date he was going to die on. He ended up dying on Friday the 13th in July 1951, a date that he so very much feared. Coming in at number 6 now, we have Kurt Cobain. This music legend rose to fame as the frontman of Nirvana and committed suicide all in the space of about 3 years. He was considered a tortured genius who struggled a lot with mental illness and heroin addiction in the last few years of his life. On April 8th, 1994, he was found dead in his home, killed by a self-inflicted shotgun wound to his head. Fans that dug through his life found that at the age of 14, Cobain announced to a school classmate that he would be a superstar musician, he would get rich and famous, kill himself, and go out in a blaze of glory. For many fans, that description was hauntingly accurate. Moving on now to number 5, we have John Lennon. In 1980, 10 years after the Beatles broke up, John Lennon was shot and killed outside of the Dakota Building in New York by a deranged gunman hoping to seek fame. The murderer remains in prison to this day. It was an event that shocked the world. Lennon had been a voice for peace, and his life was snatched away in seconds by a troubled individual. Some people say that it may not have actually surprised John as much as it did everyone else. He was once quoted as saying, "I'll probably be popped off by some loony." There was also one lyric in the unreleased song called Borrowed Time, which he recorded not long before he was killed. It went, "Living on borrowed time without a thought for tomorrow." Now all of this has led some fans to believe that he might have had his suspicions that something like this could happen to him. Moving on now to number 4, we have Pete MARAVICH. He was an American pro basketball player who has been inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. They cited him as perhaps the greatest creative offensive talent in history. There was no doubting his talent. In the 1974 interview, he said, "I don't want to play 10 years in the NBA and die of a heart attack at age 40. Well, that is literally exactly what happened to him. He joined the NBA in 1970 and played for 10 years until an injury forced him to retire. 8 years after that, at the age of 40, he collapsed and died of heart failure while playing a pickup basketball game. Coming in at number 3 now, we have Mikey Welsh. He was an American artist and musician, best known as the former bass player for Weezer. He eventually quit the band due to mental health related issues and later retired from music altogether in order to focus on his art career. On September 26, 2011, Mikey tweeted, "I dreamt I died in Chicago next weekend, heart attack in my sleep, need to write my will today." He then said, "Correction, the weekend after next." Sure enough, on the weekend after next, Mikey died of heart failure in Chicago in his sleep. It's thought he died from a heroin overdose leading to a heart attack. At the number 2 spot now guys, we have Jim Morrison. This American singer, songwriter and poet is best remembered as the lead vocalist of The Doors, one of the most influential bands of all time. The story goes that one day Jim was drinking with friends. They started discussing the notorious 27 Club, the group of famous musicians who died at the age of 27. They talked about Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix being the first 2 members of this club. Jim Morrison then said to them all, "You're drinking with number 3. Sure enough, Jim was found dead in his bathtub in his French apartment. The official cause of death was listed as heart failure. And finally, number 1 now, we have Bob Marley. There's a name that I think everyone must know. Perhaps he's the greatest singer-songwriter to ever come from Jamaica, a true musical and cultural icon. Now, according to some of his friends, Bob claimed to know that he would die at the age of 36. He didn't specify what the cause of death was and simply stated it would be age 36 because that was the age at which Jesus died. Well, Bob died on May 11th, 1981 in Miami. He had melanoma that had spread to his lungs and brain, causing his death. His final words to his son Ziggy were, "Money can't buy life," and he was 36 years old, just as he predicted. Alright guys, that's it for now. Don't forget to go and check out Jumba TV using our link down below for all your TV streaming desires. Now that's all out the way, let's take a quick look at some of your comments. These were from my discontinued snacks that have returned video. Hannah Barnes said, "I think I'm a disgrace to America. I don't like Twinkies." Well Hannah, I'm shocked, honestly. Actually, I've never had a Twinkie, so I don't really know what to say about this one. But how many of Hannah's fellow Americans watching this video have had a Twinkie before? Do you guys think it's an important American snack? Do you think that every hot-blooded American should love a good Twinkie? I'm literally starting to sound like a Twinkie advert now, aren't I? I've never even had one. Apo said, I see Rebecca loving this episode, especially about the cheese balls. Yeah, that's very true. Do you know what? Rebecca would probably love to do all the discontinued food type videos instead of me. I've been talking about discontinued food on and off now on this channel for about 2 years. I've actually forgotten why I'm the one doing it. I think Rebecca must have just been away the day I started it or something like that, because she would have taken all of these videos. Trust me, she can talk about food all day. Whereas I can eat it. That's about it. And finally, Jennifer said, I love crispy M&Ms. Oh my god, they are so good. The KFC Double Down is so far beyond good. It adds like £1,000, but oddly only to girls. Surge never disappointed here. I don't know of any soda machines, but you can get it from any more, but it stayed on the shelves. Well, I'm glad you like some of the things on this list, but I'm a little bit confused about the KFC Double Down only adding weight to girls. I don't know if that's true, but I'm prepared to be proven wrong here. Did Burger King specifically make a burger that would only put on weight for women? Now there's a conspiracy theory to do in a video in the future. Thanks also to you, Jennifer, for being a member. We do appreciate that. Thanks to you all for watching this video. As always guys, my name is Danny Burke and I will see you all in the next one.